comfort and luxury at its best.
Good morning and welcome to Church of Uganda Family TV. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Kampala. I'm not really sure about where you're watching from, but I guess it is a beautiful one because the days are nearing in. It is the 20th of December, meaning only 4 days left to Christmas. How have you prepared? Is a question you should ask yourself. Remember, Christmas is all about joy. So make sure you put a smile on someone's face out there. It is issues at hand. And of course, we are always powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Ntebe, a place you should definitely look out for majorly this festive season because of the services they are providing and the kind of services they've provided for this particular period. So please find time and reach out to Protea Hotel by Marriott Ntebe. My name is Luke Majumba Alinaitwe and I welcome you to Issues at Hand. Today, we're going to have a very interesting discussion on whether money lenders' operations are legal in the nation, of course. And I have an interesting guest who is going to take us through this, Mr. Mpindi Henry, from the Finance and Administration Manager of the Association of Microfinance Institutions in Uganda. You are most welcome, sir.
I thank you, Luke. The viewers, good morning to you. My name is Henry Mpindi, Ssebanakitta, Finance and Admin Manager for the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda. Nice to be here with you. At hand, the question at hand is are money lenders legally operating?
Yes, sure.
The big answer is yes. Money lenders are legally doing their business because we have the law, the Tier 4 law, that was enacted in 2016, and the regulations came out in 2018, which talks about, which gives the mandate to operate in all areas of Uganda, their business. When looking through this Tier 4, it clearly brings out the issue of licensing, who is a money lender, a legal money lender, whereby you're supposed to apply for a license at UMRA. You do it in writing. You do it in writing to UMRA. UMRA is a regulator, that is Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, that is mandated to regulate the Tier 4 institutions, which caters for money lenders. Your viewers, when it comes to application, an institution as a money lender is supposed to apply in writing to the regulator. In this application, it's accompanied by the certificate of registration, that is from URSB. Then also we need to have the Form 20, that indicates the directors for the company. Then also the national IDs for the directors. So all these are required for you to get a license. And after you've fulfilled the requirements, you get a license from UMRA, and you pay the license fee of 500,000, and this is renewable on an annual basis. And if you comply by the code of conduct and ethics of the regulator, your license can be renewed. However, if you don't, that means this license will not be renewed. So it is very key that as you do this business of money lending, you have to comply with the rules and regulations under the Tier 4.
Okay. That is interesting. Now, recently we had Honorable Kasolo coming out and saying that there will be no more licensing for money lenders and their operations. What do you think of this kind of directive being issued?
Thank you so much. I understand I was part of that meeting or the event where the minister said no more giving of license come January next year to money lenders. I know the origin of this because we've had this contention of the money lenders having the high interest rate, that members were crying for the interest rate. And we've had many meetings discussing the capping of interest for money lenders. You know what we need to believe as the nation? We need money lenders. And like we always said, going to a money lender is by choice. Money lenders give emergency loans to the nation or to the citizens. And because there is an element of a risk element, because if a money lender gives you the money, it doesn't have to do that thorough appraisal like other institutions are doing. When you go to a money lender, for example, you have a student in Makerere is about to do an exam. In 30 minutes, you can get money from a money lender. Not put into consideration the risk element, and also to look at the securities that you're pledging for this facility. The money lender gives you money, then you're able to sort out the issue, which is like in a month's time. But we've got many complaints, which prompted the president to request for interest capping. And this is mainly coming from those who are not registered by UMRA as money lenders. We have many lenders in arcades, in shops, who are not registered with the regulator. And these are the people who are doing business dubiously. Others, those who are registered under UMRA and they have licenses, they are doing business in the right way. And also we have the clients who are complaining of taking their securities, high interest rate. Those ones also, they're the defaulters.
Okay.
Because actually, as we can say, we all need the money lenders, but now what we need to manage is, like the president said, the interest rate. And from the previous meetings we've had, we have managed to move from the average of 20, now with 0 to 9%. This is agreed between the partners and the money lenders. However, it has not been fully approved by the president, but we are still in negotiation.
Okay.
But to tell you this is money lenders are doing business legally, and where the challenge is coming from, those who are not fully registered with UMRA.
Okay.
So they are doing business in their own way, they are not registered. Those are the ones who are doing business illegally.
And what are you doing about that? If they are doing business legally and they are the ones you find the minister could be even cautioning them, because apparently they are the ones who could even be shining out there.
I think, look, otherwise what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that UMRA, the regulator, does full census for all money lenders in the country.
Okay.
To make sure that they know each and every money lender in every corner. Because not until that is done, this issue of malpractice, the issue of cheating people, doing agreements which don't comply to the rules. Because as I can tell you, in the tier 4, before we used to have agreements that I've sold you my house at this rate. Okay. My house is valued at 5 billion, but now the agreement I've signed, I've taken a loan of 1 million. So you find the agreement used to be I've sold you my house at this 1 million. But now in the new law, it is very clear. The agreement is very clear. It's not a sale agreement. It's a loan agreement with clear terms, interest rate, and the loan period.
Okay.
So with the coming of the tier 4, everything has been normalized.
Okay.
So what we are doing as an association, in partnership with the regulator, we are making sure that we are helping the regulator to have the census for all money lenders in Uganda. And whoever is found not registered, just to close it.
Okay.
Yes, otherwise more issues are coming up from those who are not fully registered and the regulator.
Okay, apart from maybe the census you're carrying out, how else are you collaborating with the regulator to have an ethical ways of operating, or legal ways of operating?
Thank you so much. Otherwise, we have worked with the regulator. We have a complaints handling system. This is a system whereby if you got money from a money lender and he has cheated you, it's a toll-free. You make a call to pledge in, you lodge in your complaint. So what happens under this complaints handling system? Clients are calling to bring in their complaints, and they bring in their complaints. So the regulator and the association are able to call the client and then also the money lender on table to harmonize this situation. Because I can tell you, before the coming of the law and the complaints system, we used to have many issues in papers. People are being cheated, people are defaulting at this rate. But now with the coming of complaints system, we are able to harmonize these issues, and then the issues of court cases are minimal now. Yes.
Now let's talk about transparency to the customers. We have had issues of government coming out to stop the use of national IDs, but I see that is still continuing. How are you addressing this?
Thank you, Luke. Otherwise, in the law, it is very clear. In the law, it is very clear that the money lender is not supposed to use national ID as security for the facility.
Yes.
In addition to that, also not supposed to use the bank account as security. But before, it used to be the case, and also, like I told you, those who are not having a license from UMRA are doing so. But those who have a license under UMRA, they are doing business professionally. The only issue we are trying to cloud is to have an harmonized level of interest rate which cut across.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
But the issue of interest of IDs, no more use, because the law is very clear. No more use of identity cards, national IDs as security for the facility.
Yes, I happen to sometimes move around institutions, middle high institutions of learning, and you find there are posters everywhere. Like you bring, like you bring your phone, we give you a loan, things of that kind. How is this ethical? Is this practical? Is it legal?
Thank you.
Because they even display their contacts there. It could be a startup for you to find out something.
Actually, that is illegal. That's what I've been talking about. Is we have many providers in this sector who are not registered. So they do business in a dubious way. Especially when you talk about give me your phone, I give you this. Those are the previous or the old ways of doing business that we're trying to fight. The law that came in force is what is fighting to make sure that all those dubious activities are phased out, and the law is very clear, and it's pushing us forward as a financial sector.
Okay, and have you held people liable for this before?
Yes, because it is very easy to have someone liable if this person is fully registered or legally registered. You get it?
Yes.
Because under the complaints handling system, if you log in your complaint, the regulator invites the institution that is doing business in the rude way, then they are penalized. The law is very clear about penalty, and also the law talks about when you get a license and you cannot comply to the rules and regulations that is catered in the law, they can revoke your license.
Okay.
They can give a notice that you're giving this notice. If you don't comply within this period of time, they can revoke your license. So the law is very strong about compliance.
Okay.
Yes.
So what measures are in place specifically? If the law is in place, what measures have you put to monitor if this is being practical down there?
Actually, the measures, like we said, we have this toll-free that whoever is doing business in a rudimentary way, someone can call. So if you know you're doing business not in the right way, someone can call and then report you, which can lead to revocation of your license. Then also what we have put in place is to make sure that awareness is very key. We have tried to create awareness to all those who are doing this business, to know the repercussions of not complying with the law. So awareness and trainings has been done, and we also wish to continue in the year 2024 to make sure that everyone understands. Because like before, we used to have, like, if you get a loan agreement, someone just told you sign here. But now in our campaign, we make sure that before someone signs for the money, he has to understand the loan agreement, the interest rate that is catered for, and also the loan term. So by the time someone gets to sign a loan agreement, he has to fully understand what he's signing for.
Okay.
Which has never used to be the case, but we are trying to make sure that financial literacy, awareness is very key to make sure that before someone signs for the facility, he or she has understood the terms and conditions for this facility.
Okay, yes. That is interesting. And now you talk of awareness. How have you reached out now to the borrowers themselves? Are you planning to? Do you reach out to them to sensitize them about the whole process?
Thank you so much. As a regulator, UMRA, it has done its role to make sure they sensitize the public about the law and the repercussions of not legally doing business. And this I mean for not having a license with UMRA, but also other partners like AMFU. We are having this awareness through, we developed an online training platform for the sector. So we use it to train end users. These are the beneficiaries or the clients about financial literacy, business skills, and also things to do with the law regulations that govern the Tier 4 institutions. So this has been done through radios, through publications, giving out handouts to the end beneficiaries, and also using the local radios and other avenues, but we have done it.
How are you making sure? Let's first go back to the licensing bit of it. How are you making sure? Are there possibilities of you sensitizing these who are not licensed to be licensed, to go for licensing, or because they could operate legally and they are very comfortable with that?
Thank you so much. Actually, the motive to make sure that the financial sector is clean is to cater for all. Because we are seeing that the challenge is coming from those who are not legally registered without licenses. So unless we clear that, the sector cannot be clean. So our role now is to make sure that in doing the sensitization, we do it to all. Like I told you, we use the radios via sensitization. The platform we developed, it caters for all. And we developed a link that you can even use USD code on your phone and have these trainings and also awareness. And the regulator is doing it very clearly to create awareness to the entire sector about the regulations and the Tier 4, and to show what is the importance of getting a license from UMRA and what are the repercussions if you don't have a license under UMRA. Because people don't know that if you don't have a license and you're operating legally, it implies that if I come and get a facility from you who is not registered, you cannot report me anywhere, even if I default, because you're not complying with the law, the Tier 4. So that means all institutions should have a license for their funds to be safe. Otherwise, if I know you don't have a license, I will intentionally come to you and borrow money from you, and I don't pay. So if you go to courts of law, one thing will be, do you have a license? You don't have it. So you cannot recover money from me if you don't have a license. So that's what UMRA is trying to do, that if you're operating legally and you have the complaint, either you gave out money and someone has not paid back, you cannot win the case. Yes.
Okay. And maybe let's digest much on the importance and repercussions of why they should go for licensing. Yes. What are the major importances of having a license?
Oh, thank you so much. The first major importance of getting a license is, first of all, compliance. Compliance is very key, and we all agree that non-compliance is expensive. If you don't comply, the law will catch up with you, and it will be expensive for you to make things right. Then secondly is about safety of institutional funds. Like I said, if you don't have a license from UMRA to operate, and that means I'll come to you knowing that you don't have a license, I'll borrow 1 billion from you. And as I know, I come to you intentionally to borrow money and not willing to pay, that means it comes to courts of law, you cannot win because you don't have a license. You've been doing business illegally. So that means you're losing out on resources, on funds. And then also another benefit is as a country, because in the planning process, the country needs to know how many institutions or companies that are doing this business for planning purposes. So as a nation, for decision making, they need to know how many money lenders do we have in the nation for planning purposes. Because like I told you, money lenders are very key. They hold a big portfolio in the sector. They're helping out people, especially when it comes to emergency loans. So the nation needs to know how many people do we have who are doing business, So how much money do we have in this sector? Because if you do business illegally, that means you become unbanked. So it's very difficult for the government to trace how much money do we have in the sector under the mobile money. I mean, under the money lenders.
Okay.
So actually, those are majorly the bonus of having a license with Umrah. Yes.
Okay, and how have you, as an association, addressed challenges that have come up as a result of illegal money lending operations?
Okay. As an apex and the regulator, how we have managed to the repercussions of the money lenders. Like I said, if someone is not registered, becomes very easy to handle that person because even in the database you can't find him that side. But now what we are trying to do as a regulator and the apex is to make sure that this sensitization is very clear, that whoever is got operating legally will be closed. And with the statement from the minister, we are making sure that all money lenders have a meeting to discuss these issues. Because money lenders also have the association, leave alone the regulator, but also they have the association of money lenders. But you find those who are under the association are doing it better. But those who are not under the association, they are doing it illegally. So what we are trying to do is make sure that all money lenders come to register and get to know the right census of money lenders for proper planning. Yes.
And they are buying the idea?
Actually, some are buying. In fact, even yesterday I got calls from two that they wanted to pay for the license. But with the statement that was made, they were like, what can we do? But we told them, no, this is going to be sorted. It is just a meeting between the regulator and the minister and the money lenders to discuss a few issues, to iron them out, then we'll be able to give out licenses after January. So actually, with that statement, men are now running to make sure they have licenses because they know the repercussions. And you know, like I told you, when it comes to losing funds, it's the biggest challenge. So they are seeing as a big challenge if they're operating legally, and people are very sharp.
Sure.
People are very sharp. I know if I go to him, I get 1 billion, I don't pay, the law can't catch up with me because he doesn't have a license. So actually, that major reason, they are coming up to make sure that they register and get licenses.
But why wouldn't someone have a license in the first place? What do you think is the cause of this?
Actually, it's a mindset, and because people believe if they go to the regulator and have a license, the government will be able to see how much they are earning and tap into their resources in terms of taxation. But like I said, compliance is very key, and non-compliance is very expensive. So for them, they are looking at that angle, but they are losing out on many things. So that is the main challenge. They feel if they go and get a license, the census will show that this institution is having this portfolio, so expect these returns, and also in terms of tax, this amount. But compliance, we need to comply.
Sure.
We need to comply as institutions, yes. So that's the major reason why they don't want to get license. And also the annual fees of 500,000. They feel it's too much, but you need to affiliate to a regulator and make sure you comply, because this is an annual license. You pay it every after 1 year, because the period ends 31st December of every year. So begin January, you need to get another license. Yes.
Okay. So yes, I understand. This could be the major cause why they are not.
Yeah, they fear to.
They fear to
pay tax.
To pay tax.
Yes.
Yes, that is a big challenge indeed. And
but also they are losing out on something, because if someone came into the sector and wanted to give support to a certain section, for example, money lenders or microfinance or circles, if documentation is not very clear, there's no basis for giving support. So, but if you have our database for the money lenders, even if the government, because one of the challenge why money lenders were still charging the interest rate they're charging, because they get money from different sources. You get it?
Okay.
Different sources are different interest rate. Because you find a money lender getting money from a commercial bank at 24%, 22%. So you don't expect this person to lend to you. You get it at 10% when you got at 24%. And also when partners come in the sector, they are looking at serving those who have the social component, because the difference between a money lender and other MFIs and circles is money lenders, they don't have a social component. A social component, this way, we look at if I gave you money when you are renting, then after 2 cycles, you're able to build. By the time I gave you money, you had children, they were not going to school. But after 2 years, they are going to school. That's a social component.
Okay.
However, the money lenders are looking at major the profit element. You get it? So it's becoming very hard for the partners or development partners to come and help the money lenders in terms of capitalization. So they are looking for this money from their own sources and expensively. That's why capping the interest rate has been a challenge. Because they get money from different sources.
Okay.
So it's very hard for them to charge 4%, yet for them are getting at 20%.
Okay.
Yes.
That is interesting. I think now let us shift to the digitalization of this whole process.
Yes.
There are so many, should I call them websites or applications or sort of that want to lend people money online. Yes. I don't know how this is being legalized or who is regulating it?
Actually, we have an association that is FITSPA, that is an association for fintechs, because we consider those are to be under fintechs. So they are lending money online, and the government has come up to make sure that they want to introduce the digital tax. Because men are doing business, but they are not registered. They don't have the licenses. You get it? Okay. Some are international firms, some are local firms. So the government is coming up with a procedure and also a method of making sure that those who are doing business online, they are also catered for. There's a way we understand in terms of having the database, how they are doing business. Because now if an international company is doing that business, that means if you're not registered, it's not paying tax in Uganda, that means that as a nation, it's losing out on issue of taxation. So the government is coming up with a digital tax to make sure that those who are doing this business also do a give back to the government. However, as a nation, we are promoting digitization. And we found that the coming of the digital tax is going to affect the uptake of digitization. Because we all agree, remember in the coming of COVID-19, all institutions that were digitized remained in business. Take an example, institutions that have group loans. They have to travel to their group sitting place. So because there was no means of transport, so they could not transact. But only those institutions that had the digital platforms remained in business. So however the government wants to bring in the digital tax, for us as an apex and the regulator, we are saying that it's going to limit the uptake of digitization. Because now, take an example, how much do you use to board a taxi to go and pay to the bank 100,000? You might find you're using either 20,000 or 10,000, and also the time element. So for us, we are saying, let's promote digitization, and then also make sure that the digital tax does not apply. So the government can look for other ways to curb these international lenders who are lending on what? Online. But the issue of introducing digital tax should not come at this time when you're promoting digitization.
Okay, that is really interesting. Now, how about these lenders who say I could give, and they always pop up on phones like get this amount of money. The scam in all this, how are you trying to regulate all this?
Actually, you have a good point. because as the regulators also as an apex, I'm sure we are seeing as a challenge. And we see one of the challenges we've seen is over-indebtedness of members or Ugandans. Because you find someone gets a loan from Momo, someone gets a loan from Senti Mobile, someone gets a loan from all those different online platforms. So you find in the month someone has got over 6 facilities from different platforms. So we are finding is one of the challenges that is trying to limit the growth of our citizens, because the more you're indebted, you cannot evolve. Whatever you get, you pay back. And also, you get this loan without a reason. Because someone has sent you on a WhatsApp or the platform, you can borrow this amount of money, so you just borrow without a reason. So you find someone is ever trying to pay back different facilities or loans. So that's a big point. So we are trying to see as an apex and the regulator how these people can be regulated. Because as I can see, you look at, for example, Bank of Uganda, there's an issue of commercial banks, and then also the forex bureaus. They are regulated by the BOU. But now these onlines, so at one time there was a debate, either UCC can regulate, then but we are in negotiation so that who regulates those online lenders. But the good thing, there's an association that is FITSPA that is overseeing all those online platforms that lend out money.
Okay.
Yes.
And maybe also you could, since you're part of them, you could tell them to stop threatening people. Otherwise, they send notifications, mostly those online apps.
Oh, yes.
And how they also request for permission for people's contacts and all that. You find someone is getting a loan, and they have to provide the whole phone book, contacts, all that. And then out of the blue, you'll hear a call. We have called son because so and so put you as security,
as a guarantor.
As a guarantor. And they're all putting you on threat. Even someone can actually, for some applications, someone can actually put you there minus your consent.
I get your point.
So all this, we don't know what is really going to, and I think won't this even be promoting scam?
Actually, you're right. You're very right. But like I said, we're trying to see how best to manage this, and that's why we appreciate the coming of FITSPA as an association for all those fintechs. So it has been a challenge, but I know a solution is being formulated.
Okay.
Yes, because we see it's causing more indebtedness among citizens.
Sure.
People having
and actually
more loans.
Trust.
Yes, people having more loans, and they cannot pay back.
They cannot,
They cannot pay back. Because now we are promoting financial inclusion in the country. But and also after that financial inclusion, what is the impact? You get it. But getting bigger loans or mini loans at the end, it's going to limit the issue of financial inclusion, because at the end of the day, there's no impact. You've been getting these loans when you were renting, but also after getting these loans. Now even the house you are renting of 200, now you can rent at 100. Because you cannot save at all. So that's a big challenge, and we're trying to see how to address it. Yes.
Oh, that is really interesting. Also, so you're talking of financial inclusion. We understand money lenders can help each and every person in terms of giving them money, or sort of. So how about this issue of when someone is not financially stable, but you go ahead and give them loans, minus knowing what they can use this money for? Don't you think some money lenders also need to be, can I say, acquainted with knowledge, sort of?
I think so. Actually, one of the reasons why people fail to pay when they are given money, either by money lender or any other institution, is assessing the ability and capacity of a client to pay. It is very key.
Yes.
Take an example. If I have a house of 500 million, I have no business. Either I'm not working, but I have a house of 500 million. If I come to you for a loan, I don't expect you to look at my house of 500. Look at my capability and capacity to pay back.
Okay.
Because if I fail to pay, selling that house is a process. And by the time you come to sell it, you have lost as an institution. So like what you're saying, it is very key that before the money is given out to a client, awareness is very key. Why are you taking this money? Are you able to pay this money in this period of time? What can you afford on a monthly basis? So like you said, for money lenders, why people are running to money lenders? Because for them it's quick money.
Very quick.
It's emergency money. So if someone came to me as a money lender, within 30 minutes I'll give the money. Not put into consideration will this person pay back. That's why I was saying they are charging highly because they put an element of risk.
Oh, okay.
You get it? They put an element of risk on this principle of God because they have not made to go to my place to see which securities I have. Am I able to pay back? Do I have the capacity and ability to pay back? But it's a good point that also as a regulator, make sure that money lenders are taken through the training and also awareness. As they give out money, let them give out money to people they know can afford instead of looking at their securities. Yes.
Oh, that is interesting. I think that will really it should really be taken on, because you find a lot of people taking on the amount of money.
Actually, that's why people's property have been taken, because the issue of ability and capacity to pay back was not considered at the time of advancing the facility.
Wow.
But now if they're taken through the trainings, awareness, that will solve the issue.
All right. Yes, it is issues at hand, and of course we are still discussing the legality of operations by the money lenders in the country. And of course with me here is Mpindi Henry, the finance and manager and administration manager from the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda. It is issues at hand. We're coming back shortly after the break.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Family Hour, empowering families one episode at a time. Together, we build strong, healthy, and thriving families with our daily dose of inspiration and expert insights on topics that matter, like education and career growth.
Education deals with the minds of our younger children.
We want to see role model schools.
Family health.
Well, the public is advised to follow the Ministry of Health guidelines.
Finance and wealth.
As the government, as the parliament, we can plug those gaps so that the money that we collect from the wananchi give value to the wananchi.
Leadership and governance.
Leadership, I think, requires unity, people being united to accomplish an objective.
Not forgetting parenting.
For those of us that have children, depending on the level of intimacy, I think it's important to show your children the type of relationship you have.
Catch more of this every Monday to Friday at 9 p.m.
Family TV, enriching lives. Issues at Hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Welcome back. You are still watching Issues at Hand here at Church of Uganda Family TV, and of course a reminder that we are powered by by Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe, a place you'd really want to go to during this festive season. And we are still discussing our money lenders legally operating in Uganda, and of course I am with Mpindi Henry, from who is the Finance and Administration Manager from the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda. And it is interesting that he has been giving us lots of insights in regards to the legality, and of course the answer was yes, they are legally operating in the country, of course with the reasons and why he told us they are doing that particularly. And now recently, just like I had earlier highlighted, though we want to now go deeper in this, the Minister of State, is it for Finance, Honorable Kasolo, came out and said that effective January 2024, there will be no more licenses to these particular money lenders. And now this has left some of them who had not yet got licenses scared of how to join the business, because this will be a very big hindrance in their lives for them not to operate, because if you're not licensed, then you're illegally operating, and of course the law will go against you. So I want to understand from you, Henry, how do you foresee this impact? What kind of impact is it going to bring in this particular sector of money lending?
Thank you, Luke. Like I said, we need money lenders in the sector because they hold a big portfolio. They really support, like I said, pressure do with emergency loans. And the minister came up and said, come January, no more issuing licenses. But what I want to give like comfort to the money lenders is, like I said before, those who are doing business illegally are not registered. They don't have the licenses. But those who are legally registered with licenses are doing business because they comply with the law. So the comfort I want to give the money lenders is, though the minister said so, but we are in touch, and what you want is just a meeting with money lenders and the regulator to harmonize a few issues, because we know the repercussions of not having a license at the same time you're still in business. It can be so risky in terms of managing your resources. You don't have a license and you're still operating. So me, I believe the minister is a good minister. He listens, so I know he's going to sit with the regulator and the Association for Money Lenders, and this will be sorted as soon as possible to make sure that money lenders go back to operate normally and to safeguard their resources. Yes.
So this is interesting then. This means we are not going to see this happen. You people are in touch.
We are not foreseeing this because it has a negative implication. And like I said, they play a big role in the sector, financial sector. So as an apex, and the regulator will make sure that this is done in time and they're given the license after that meeting. So what we need to push for is that meeting with the minister as soon as possible. Because I see there are no more issues. Like I said, those who are registered are doing well, but the complaints are coming from those who are not registered with licenses. Yes.
Now, if it so happens, of course, I'm not sidelining for that. What are the repercussions? What do you think this can? How hard do you think this can affect the sector?
Actually, it can affect the sector because, like I said, they hold a big portfolio in the financial sector. So on the side of the money lenders, there can be loss of their resources because if you're operating legally and you don't have a license, that means someone can easily come to and then specifically to fraud you without not to pay because he knows you're not licensed. So even if he doesn't pay back, the law can't catch up with him. And also as a sector, when these they are not given a license, that means they can no longer give out the facility to the nationals. That means even us who would want to get money from the money lenders will not be able to access that facility. So also our businesses will be affected. You know, you see it as something small, but it has a greater impact nationwide, because many businessmen, we go to Chikubu, many are getting money from money lenders, and they're doing big businesses. And also that's why the government picks revenues from their businesses. If money lenders stop giving, that means even business-wise, it will deteriorate. So you find there's a bigger impact negatively, both on individuals and also the national budget.
Okay. Yes. So what advice do you give someone who was worried about this move that the minister came out and noted?
The comfort I should give to money lenders is, like I said, the minister is a good minister. He will listen. The moment the meeting is held, I know more will be cleared and licensing will go normally after the meeting. So I don't expect to have like no more licensing. That one cannot happen. I know he cannot do that because he loves the sector like any other person. And he fought so much for the coming of this law, the Tier 4 law, because initially there was no law governing the Tier 4, and this business was taken as a rude business, a business for thieves, you get it. But now this coming of the law was to safeguard the Tier 4 institutions that they legally appreciated in the sector to do business. And that's why it is directing and guiding how business should be done. When you look at that law, it is very clear from the application, licensing, if you don't comply, there is revocation of your license. When it comes to management, you're not supposed to change management before notifying the regulator. So you see, it is very clear. It's guiding very well for the better of the sector in terms of financial institutions.
All right.
Yes.
That is really, really good. Also, I think money lending sector has a little bit of things to clarify. The president also came out and said you should curb the interest rates that you're having. So, how about this? Because as you noted earlier, the interest rates come according to the finances that come into them. So, if the president has given a directive for you to curb these interest rates, what's the fate?
Thank you so much, Luke. First of all, we came to understand that those who are charging exorbitant interest rates are those who are doing business in their briefcases. Those hiding in the arcades, in shops, they are charging 20% plus, but they don't have the license.
Okay.
And we got to know that those who are licensed, most of them are ranging from 10, 15 to 10, and even some less than 10%. So we are seeing that this came up to curb the interest rate for money lenders because of many complaints from the nationals that they are being cheated. And not forgetting that these who are cheating mainly, they are not licensed, the bigger number, because they are doing business in their briefcases. But also, to tell this that the interest rate capping is not something that we can say it is a direct move. Given that money lenders are getting money from different sources. Some are getting from commercial banks, some are getting from international firms where they incur foreign losses, exchange losses. Some are getting from other individuals to make sure they lend to their members or clients. So you find that if I got a loan at 20%, 24%, you don't expect me to lend to someone at 5% because I'll be working at a loss. So as a government, we've had many meetings of curbing the interest rate. And like I told you, from 20, we have had like over 6 meetings to make sure at least it goes down. And I remember in the last meeting we had agreed to 9% from 20, 15, we had agreed to 9%. But though this 9% has not been approved by the president because this initiative or the directive came from the president, So, but we actually harmonize at 9%. We are there with the regulator and the association of money lenders and the apex institutions like AMFU and other, and also representative from Attorney General's office. So we made sure at least we try to harmonize this position. As I can say, we stopped at 9%. So we are waiting for the president who is going to approve the 9% or is going to inquire for a lesser interest rate. But like I said, it is something. Also, we need to consider the money lenders and where they are coming from.
Yes.
The issue of risk, because they don't go to do thorough appraisal. So also we need to cater for their losses and other issues related to that.
Okay.
So it is something which is still on table, but we have done our part as players in the sector to make sure at least from the other end of 20, right now we are trying to see 9% interest rate. So we're waiting for our president, what he's going to say about it, whether it is approved or not, then we see what to do. Otherwise, money lenders are doing a good job. So let's see that we harmonize each and everything for us to be a win-win situation. Yes.
You see, in all these, what I'm seeing is the people operating illegally are the ones that are bringing problems in the sector.
Yes.
Why can't you have a strategy to arrest them out, or sort of?
Yes. Thank you so much. Actually, one of the strategies for the regulator, that is Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, is to make sure that they iron out all money lenders, all financial institutions who are not registered, who don't have licenses to be closed. So if you have your portfolio as an institution and you know if they get you, they're going to close you. So actually you have to run to get a license. So that is one strategy for the regulator to make sure that all financial institutions, like I said, they want to do the census. And they're going to do the census with the help of apex institutions. For example, AMFU, KUSKU and the rest. Because for us, we know these members, the financial institution, where they are, their location and everything. So we can help the regulator to make sure that at least all institutions, financial institutions, they're in their database. And trust me, if we have this census countrywide, the sector will normalize. The issues of cheating people will be normal, because if you have a license, you have to comply. If you don't use it well, it will be revoked with other penalties. Yes.
So as we went up, I see our time is fast spent. How are you engaging the consumer in all these operations you're doing? Is the borrower included in there somehow for them to know this information, or you just later on inform them?
Thank you so much. It's a good question. Actually, as the regulator and also AMFU and Apex, we focus more on the demand side. We create a demand side, those who access the credit. We make sure, because if they don't understand what to do, because they're the biggest beneficiary and the biggest number, if they don't understand what to do, then the sector is normal. So we're making sure that we are training them. There is what we call client protection, the principles of client protection, which talks about over-indebtedness, fairness, fair pricing. So we make sure that we take them through these principles. And if someone goes to get a loan from the banking hall, he expects to find a poster which indicates the interest rate or the charges. By the time someone gets to sign for a loan, he or she has understood what are the charges for this loan. So we are training them under client protection to make sure that they are protected. They know their rights as members. Then secondly, we also do the financial literacy. What is embedded in this financial literacy? Because they need to know the budgeting part of it. As you try to request for a facility from a financial institution, do you have a budget for what you want to do? If you get this money, how best are you supposed to utilize it? So that you can get profit at the same time you pay back to the institution. So at the end of the day, there's impact. a new life. So we are trying to train them. Another training we always do, the digital finance. Like I told you, it has affected, the COVID affected both beneficiary and financial institutions. So we're also trying to create awareness, the benefits of going digital. Instead of have to travel to Mbarara, make a payment, you just use your phone to make a payment.
Sure.
And also if an institution is to advance a facility, they just disperse a loan on your phone. So initially these members used to fear. Digital is good, but also it has its disadvantages. Someone feels he wants a physical receipt. If I pay my loan, I want a physical receipt. Now these receipts which are online, members were not comfortable with it. You get it?
It will take a lot to convince
You
them.
get it? So even if someone is making a payment, for a repayment, say, but I want a physical receipt. If I don't have a physical receipt, how am I sure that my money was received? So we are trying to have a campaign to create awareness for people to upload, people to uptake and have confidence in the digital platform.
Okay.
So we have done it, and all beneficiaries now are appreciating to use the digital because it saves time and money.
Okay.
Yes, for you to go and make a payment, you need money and also time. But here, you just sit on your phone, just send to the bank as a payment and also receive as a disbursement. So that's what we have done in terms of creating awareness to members for them to understand, and also for the issue of the money lenders. That's when the licenses, members also should know that if you're dealing with a money lender who's not licensed, if anything happens and you got courts of law, you cannot win. You get it?
Yes.
If you got money from a money lender who is not registered and he has done dubious work, that means even if you got courts of law, he has no license. So on which basis did you based on to go and get a facility? So both parties are on losing end, both the money lender and the client who got money from money lender, because even if they want to revoke his license, he didn't get a license. So you find we need to create awareness for both end user and also the money lenders themselves, for them to be doing work in a legal way.
Yes. Wow, that is interesting. Maybe just the last words for you briefly as we finish up this.
Thank you so much, Luke. And for the entire sector, I want to appeal to you, especially the money lenders. Many things are happening, but I want to give you comfort that the sector needs you, but also we need to work together as money lenders and other players in the sector to make sure that our financial system is very clear. And also I want to emphasize the issue of doing business in a legal way. Let all money lenders register at UMRA, get licenses, do business legally, and also let them affiliate to the association of the money lenders, because it's very key. When it comes to lobby and advocacy, you have a voice as money lenders. But now we see we have different associations. The issue of lobby becomes a challenge. So, and also to appeal to the sector, the end users also, make sure you get the facility from institutions that are legally binding and doing business legal, to avoid those issues of court cases and losing out on money. So I want to appreciate Luke and the entire sector. We believe what was said in terms of licensing, it will be sorted. Come January, have a meeting with the minister and the regulator, everything will be sorted. That's the comfort I want to give the money lenders. You still be in business, but let's have harmonized position for the good of this sector and the financial sector. Thank you so much.
Well, maybe please help me pass on a Christmas message before we leave.
Okay. Thank you, Luke. I want also to wish you a Merry Christmas, especially the entire financial sector, because the country depends on the financial sector. And we look at our database, you find everyone in this country has ever accessed a facility. That means it's very key. And our business and it's developing because of those facilities from the commercial banks, and also the government gets revenues from the businesses that have been funded by these financial institutions. I wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I pray God keeps you safely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Henry Mpindi, of course, who is the Finance and Administration Manager from the Association of Microfinance Institutions in Uganda. It has been an interesting discussion here in Issues at Hand, and of course following the questions that we are raising in terms of money lenders and the whole sector. I think he has really done us well to answer a number of them. I may not encourage you to borrow money for Christmas, to lend money for Christmas. I may not do that because I don't know how you'll pay that back, but please enjoy your Christmas as he has aired it out. Please, it has been a blessed morning for us here in Issues at Hand. Remember, Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe is gearing us up here, and of course you should find time, go visit them, go have fun there. The Christmas package is really interesting. You don't want to miss out that. People in Entebbe, and of course the entire Kampala and of course greater Kampala region, you can reach out to that particular place. And for those abroad, you're from Entebbe airport, you don't want to travel while you're tired, reach out to Protea Hotel and rest, then retrieve your journey the next day. Luke Majumba Linaitwe is my name, and of course there's a very big team that has been behind today's edition of Issues at Hand. We can all say have a blessed day.
Issues at Hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.